On a night like this, you couldn't blame the people of Southwest Michigan for flocking to the beaches of Lake Michigan, but many will flock here to Al Stockman Stadium for the kickoff of the 2021 high school football season. It's a smack showdown as the Portage Central Mustangs take on the Lakeshore Lancers on the 46th game of the week. And how you doing, everybody? Feels like summertime here in Southwest Michigan. Chuck Freeby, Bob Nagel, great to have you with us for what we think will be an exciting night of high school football on TV 46. Got to put these back on. This sun is blinding, Bob. But tell you what else we're excited about tonight is the fact that these two teams get a chance to make a statement here in 2021, because for the Portage Central Mustangs, last year was a year really marked by COVID. They had a losing record, which is highly unusual under Mick Ender's tenure. They really look at 2021 as a chance to turn things around, and they're trying to do it with two Division I players.
The nice thing about Mick Enders is you didn't hear any excuses for last year. It was what it was. They only played 7 games because of the COVID. But he's got some people coming back, a couple of Division I players. He's got one young man be going to Purdue, another will be going to Lehigh. They've got some speed. They've got some size in the line. And I tell you what, they're excited about playing. And Mick Enders is a veteran. He knows how to get it done.
We're here. You know, after last year and everything that we went through, really proud of the kids this summer. Put in a great work ethic, and we really got after it, and all their hard work shows off tonight.
Lakeshore had its struggles in 2020 as well, mainly because of COVID as well. Denny Doc's team had a nice year, 7-3. They won a district championship. But then COVID ended that playoff run and eventually ending the tenure of Denny Doc. They have a new head coach in Danny Thompson and a lot of excitement around this program.
A lot of excitement about Danny Thompson and what he brings to the program. And the kids like him. They bought in. They're ready to go. One of the nice things about tonight, as hot as it is, he's going to play a 2-platoon system. He's going to have 22 players out there participating. They will have backups. They will have guys play occasional down. But he's gone with Korfmacher at quarterback, who's a good thrower. And they've got some other options. They got a lot of speed on the outside, so I would look for them to try to light it up on the outside.
And nobody's more excited about his first game as a head coach than Danny Thompson.
It's been a lot of hard work, you know. It didn't come overnight, so I think I prepared myself pretty good. But the biggest thing is about this community and about these kids. They've bought into what I've been preaching about, and I think we'll do pretty good tonight.
Normally, we'd have Bo Hunt with us, our sideline reporter. He's watching his son play tonight, so I'll ask you the question I would normally ask Bo, and that's in these conditions. You mentioned Lakeshore having 22 players in the starting lineup. Portage Central's got about 6 guys going both ways. How much of a factor could that be tonight?
Well, as we saw last week between Marion and Mishawaka, it was a big factor. Nobody made excuses about it, but it was a very hot night. A lot of guys didn't really make it all the way through the game. But I think one of the things you got to keep in mind, this is a season opener for both these teams. So if you wanted to go with full 2-platoon, as Lakeshore is going to do, you're going to have some guys in there that haven't been proven. They're going to have to get a baptism of fire tonight. And I wouldn't be surprised if Portage Central doesn't try to utilize a lot of the backups.
Summer's over. Time to put the sunglasses away. Not the sunscreen, though. Don't do that. The Shadler Shed pregame show and the Jordan Automotive Keys to Win are next on the 46th game of the week.
This is the WHME TV 46 High School Football Game of the Week. Brought to you by TCU, Jordan Automotive Group, Bill's Heating, Intera Credit Union, Crown Trophy, Imagineering Finishing Technologies, St. Andrews Products, and the IHSAA.
This edition of the TV 46 High School Football Game of the Week being brought to you in part by the Jordan Automotive Group. Simple, easy, stress-free. Welcome, everybody, to the Shadler Shed pregame show. We get you ready for kickoff between Portage Central and Lakeshore in the season opener. Now time to look at our keys to win, brought to you by the Jordan Automotive Group. We mentioned Portage Central with a pair of Division I players on the roster. One of them is that fella, Cross Watson, 6'5", 270, and a senior. He plays guard, he plays nose tackle, and he's headed to play for Jeff Fromm at Purdue University. He's joined on the team by Tyler Stolsky, 6'3", 225-pound senior tight end, but an all-state linebacker a year ago. He's headed to play at Lehigh. The keys to win for Mick Enders and the Mustangs.
Well, first of all, Chuck, as always, you got to take care of the ball, and that's always the case. But this is the first game of the season. You got to be really focused on that aspect. And you have to get it done up front. You got to win the war in the trenches. That'll be so important tonight. And they also have to try to stop or contain at least that spread offense that they're going to be facing from Lakeshore. And Mick Enders in his 12th season, 77-32 he's at Central.
Lakeshore is led by a couple of players that may both see action at quarterback tonight. One is Ryan Korfmacher, 6'3", 185 pounds, and a junior. Korfmacher, better thrower of the two quarterbacks, also a standout on the basketball team for Sean Schrader. He's joined at the quarterback position, but also at linebacker by Logan Mooney, 5'10", 170 pounds, and a senior. Comes from a football family. Mooney, the student council president, and a big force in the middle of that Lakeshore defense. Quickly, the keys to win for Danny Thompson and the Lancers.
Well, number one, they have to be very fundamentally strong when it comes to attack. You got to break them down and take them down. And then you also have to focus on the run. They got to run the ball, they got to run the clock and finish their drives. And no turnovers. They don't need to help this team from Portage Central. And head coach Danny Thompson's in his first game here at Lakeshore.
So the Lancers will do the kicking down at the south end of Al Stockman Stadium. Tyler Yates, a 6'2" senior, will put the toe to leather. And back deep for Portage Central, you're looking closely at Devin Porter on the near side. And it looks like he might have Thomas Lane over on the far side. Tough to tell from that angle. And we are just about ready on a gorgeous 84-degree night in southwest Michigan. If we could get this gentle zephyr out of the west to be a little bit more than 4 miles an hour, we would have ourselves a dandy night for football. The cowbells ring. Gates is on approach, and the 2021 Michigan high school football season is about to begin on TV 46. Toe meets leather, and we're underway with a squib kick that'll be fielded by Frank Roseman at his 22. Roseman up the middle of the field to the 38. That's where Portage Central will begin. 1st and 10 with Caleb Schnell at quarterback, a returning starter from a year ago, 6'1", 180 pounds, and a senior. Very smart, efficient quarterback.
The Lakeshore Lancers in their red jerseys, they got gray pants tonight and their red helmets. The visitors from Portage Central are in the white jerseys, gold pants, and gold helmets.
Man in motion, and Schnell gives it to the first man through, the fullback Frank Roseman, and he finds no running room right there, no gain on the play as we meet the Portage Central offense. It's a veteran backfield behind Caleb Schnell. Devin Porter, the top returning ball carrier. They don't throw the ball a lot, but Tyler Stolsky, the big tight end, a nice target. Cross Watson, committed to Purdue, the anchor of that offensive line. The two tackles, Holmes and Gear, are both converted tight ends.
These teams looking good tonight, and your team can look well as they take products from St. Andrews Products. Reach them at sales@standrewsproducts.com.
Devin Porter using some leverage going into the rugby scrum, picking up 8 on the play to set up a 3rd and 2 as we meet the Lakeshore defense. Up front, they get some bulk with DeHaven and Robinson in the middle of that defensive line. Tanner Jackson, the top returning tackler on the squad, part of a good linebacking core. They've got speed in that secondary, but some unproven folks. Alex Woyan, just a sophomore, making his first varsity start. 3rd and 2 for the Mustangs from their own 46. Schnell will keep it himself on the quarterback keeper, and he's close to the first down marker. I don't think he made it based on the spot of the line judge on the near side. They're spotting him down at the 47. He had to go to the 48. It's 4th and 1, and the first big decision of 2021 for Mick Enders, and it doesn't look like it's much of a decision. He's going to go for it.
Well, he's not deep in his own territory, but big decision for that first possession of the year. See if they may have that pooch punt or long snap.
Cross Watson is 75. He is the guard just to the left of Caleb Schnell. Schnell with a long count. They'll pitch and go right, and Porter's got the first down into Lakeshore territory at the 49-yard line. So Devin Porter, the 6-foot senior, who is a member of the track team, very versatile back, and the leading ball carrier coming back to this team from a year ago, gets the first down for the Mustangs. Spotted at the Lakeshore 49.
Got a call early in the ball game. I think both coaches just really pumped. They believe in their kids right now, and no reason not to.
I was going to say, that's a lot of confidence in the offensive line there for Mick Enders. They give it off to Roseman. He ran right past one tackler, but Michael, Nate, and the rest of the Lakeshore defense there to wrap him up. Nate, the big 235-pound senior, wears number 62, and he comes in to make the stop after a pickup of just one.
Lakeshore football boosters want to thank everyone who contributed to the Lakeshore football season. I want to say thank you to all of our wonderful coaches, players, and good luck to the team this year from the Lakeshore Booster Club. They hope it's a great year, especially
Josh Sturgeon weaving his way through traffic, gets down to the 31-yard line. That's a pickup of 17 for the Portage Central wingback, and another first down for the Mustangs. Sturgeon, who really worked on his body in the offseason to try to become stronger and faster, and he got a really nice block from Cross Watson to spring him.
I think Cross Watson's going to have a few of those tonight. Big fella.
You'll meet him at halftime, one of our TCU Student Athletes of the Week. And we have a flag thrown and a whistle blown, and we've got a chance to meet our officiating crew for the first time tonight. As you take a look at Nathan Damaso, Michael Bess, Curtis Messing, Ben Neal, and Aaron Hughes. That's Nathan showing an illegal substitution against Lakeshore. Somebody got on the field late, and that'll cost the Lancers 5.
First penalty of the season, first penalty of the night for Lakeshore, 5-yarder.
Take a look at Mick Enders in his 12th season now as the head coach. He was there as an assistant at his alma mater of Portage Central for 10 years before assuming the head coaching duties. 1st and 5 for the Mustangs at the Lakeshore 26. They'll give it to the fullback, Roseman, up the middle to Pater. Touchdown, Portage Central. Frank Roseman with a burst right up the middle, found a seam in the Lakeshore defense, and he takes it 26 yards for the touchdown. And the Mustangs take a quick 6-0 lead. You'll get another look on the 46 Sports replay.
Well, I'll tell you what, that was a really good move, and the timing up front was terrific.
So Roseman, the second-year starter, takes that one to the house. 6-0, and it looks as though Mick Enders may try to go for 2 here.
Where have we seen that before?
Well, Mick Enders told us before the game that Mishawaka, for our Indiana viewers, pretty good primer for what his team would look like. And just like the Cavemen last week, Portage Central going for 2 and converting. Devin Porter takes it in on the 2-point conversion. And 3 minutes and 29 seconds into the season, the Portage Central Mustangs have an 8-0 lead on Lakeshore on the 46th game of the week. This edition of the TV 46 High School Football Game of the Week is being brought to you by Interra Credit Union. We get it, and we've got it. We've got a series between these two teams that dates back to 1973. Portage Central leading the all-time series 11-5. That includes 3 straight wins, including one in 2019 where the Mustangs prevailed by a count of 14-13.
Folks, Alex's Veggies is proud to support Lancer Athletics, and they wish all the fall sports teams the best of success. Alex's Veggies offers a variety of seasonal fruits and vegetables, and will have all of your fall decor for you this coming season. They're open 7 a.m., 7 days a week. Visit Alex's Veggies on Washington Avenue, or find them on Facebook and Instagram.
62-yard drive there for Portage Central, Bob, to start the game. They took 3:29 off the clock. And a big 4th down conversion was key in the drive.
It was, and the 4th down conversion, the 5-yard penalty wasn't a big factor, but again, Lakeshore was challenged, and give credit to Portage Central. They came up big.
So now the Mustangs about to kick off to Lakeshore. Aaron Pollock handles the kicking duties here for Portage Central. And it's Cage Davison as the deep man for Lakeshore. Davison, an outstanding track star, and you'll learn about him as the game goes along. Pollock, a senior on this Portage Central team that returns a very strong senior class.
Got a lot of talent on the track team up here, a well-designed program as well.
Whistle blows, Pollock on approach, sends this one hurtling and into the end zone for the automatic touchback. And so Lakeshore will take over 1st and 10 at its own 20-yard line.
Honor Credit Union proudly supports Lancer Athletics and all the clubs this school year. If you're ready to come be a part of their programs, check them out across from Lakeshore High School at Honor Credit Union, Stevensville, and go Lancers.
1st and 10 from the 20 for starting quarterback Ryan Korfmacher and the spread offense that Denny Thompson has brought in to Lakeshore. Korfmacher hands it off, and there is no room to run for Devin Atkins as Jack Wilkin is there to make the stop, and we meet the Lakeshore starting quarterback. We talked about Korfmacher. Not a lot of experience in the backfield. Andrew Lee's the top ground gainer from last year, along with Cage Davison, Matt Vaughn, a promising tight end, Nolan Thompson, and Michael Nate, the returning starters on that offensive line. 2nd and 9. Long count by Korfmacher. He pulls it out, throws, and completes the pass. Got that one to Brandon Hodder for a pickup of about 6 on the play. It'll be 3rd and 3 as we meet the Portage Central defense. We've told you all about Mr. Watson already, anchoring a defensive line that dominated in the scrimmage. Really like that linebacking core with Stolsky, the All-Stater, Wilkin, and Sturgeon. The secondary could be picked on a little bit, especially Peyton Porter, a freshman, in his first varsity game.
See how much Lakeshore tries to run away from Stolsky. He's a very quick linebacker. Sometimes you're better off to run right at a guy like that.
Stolsky in coverage right now on 3rd and 3. They keep it on the ground with Korfmacher, and the quarterback gets the first down up to the 37. 9-yard run for Ryan Korfmacher. He is not known for his running ability, but that doesn't mean that he can't. And he showed some good decision-making here on the veer option, Bob.
Well, you get the feeling that the scouting report for Portage Central said the same thing. We don't think he's going to run, certainly not in this situation, but what a pickup.
Stolsky, the All-State linebacker, came over to make the tackle. 1st and 10, the first down sponsored by Mr. Guidros. They give it to Devin Atkins this time, and look at Atkins busted across midfield. Atkins all the way to the 41. 22-yard pickup for the Lakeshore speedster. He's not very big, 5'8", 145 pounds, but he makes up for it with wheels. Take a look at the cut he'll make here on the field turf at Al Stockman.
And it is great turf, isn't it? What a beautiful facility, and a great, great commitment to the young people here with all the facilities here at Lakeshore High School.
1st and 10 from the Mustang 41. Stacked twins to each side of Ryan Korfmacher. Andrew Dotson comes in to run in the backfield. And it's Dotson taking it up the middle, and he'll take it to the 36, a pickup of 5. So that Lakeshore offensive line running behind Nolan Thompson, the center, and Michael Nate, the guard, and doing a good job.
Mr. Giros in Stevensville is proud to support the Lakeshore Lancers. Mr. Giros wishes best, and he was voted the best Greek restaurant in the area for over 20 years. Come visit for great gyros, hamburgers, and much more. They call him the Greek Geek.
Here's Korfmacher trying to get around the outside, staying on his feet and keeping the legs moving. Lucas Gear was finally able to bring him down short of the first down marker. Gets to the 33-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 2. Take a look here at the effort by Korfmacher as he is able to take Gear, a senior, and really force him to work to wrap him up.
Check one thing about Korfmacher getting his first start. You know, the more success he has, the more confidence will build.
Key 3rd down area here for Lakeshore, 3rd and 2. Likely in 4-down territory for first-year coach Danny Thompson. Dotson again, the tail of the backfield, and it's Dotson trying to slam it right up the middle, and he got the first down. Andrew Dotson past the 31, shy of the 30, but good enough to move the sticks. And another key third down conversion, the second of this drive for Lakeshore.
See, right now, both teams' offenses are moving as they had hoped. Defense has got it shored up a little bit, but again, they're seeing things for the first time this year, and we know that Portage Central has changed their attack, and we have a new coach at Lakeshore.
Well, and a new defensive coordinator at Portage Central in Trevor Haas, who comes over from Centerville, where the Bulldogs won the state championship last year. Korfmacher looking to throw, has lots of time, airing it out for the end zone. It's incomplete, in and out of the hands of Brandon Hodder. You'll get another look at the 46 Sports replay. Hodder was open, this ball hung in the air just a little bit, but that's a catchable football.
Shadler Shed in Stevensville wants to give a shout out to the Lancers. Hope they have a great season to come. Shadler Shed has been family owned and operated for over 60 years. They have fresh fruits and vegetables. Everything they have is all locally grown. Visit Shadler Shed and Washington Avenue.
On 2nd and 10, Andrew Dotson up the middle. He'll pick up about 3 on this and made it get 3rd and 7. I asked before the game Danny Thompson where he felt comfortable with his kicking game on a field goal. He said probably 35 to 40 yards, so they're not quite there yet.
Well, when the other team starts with an 8-point lead, it's hard to fall behind not only the sticks, but also on the scoreboard.
Korfmacher again with time, loads up to the end zone, touchdown, Lakeshore. Trevor Griffiths. The Lakeshore touchdown sponsored by Scott Berry Promotions, and Griffiths was a lonely man at the north end of Al Stockman Stadium. You'll get another look on the 46 replay. Terrific protection by the offensive line, and Griffiths slides in behind, and they'll boom off the fireworks here in Stevensville. Tyler Gates on to try the extra point. The snap, set down, and kick are all good. 3:59 to go first quarter, and Portage Central has an 8-7 lead, as we'll give you another look at the Korfmacher to Griffiths connection.
When you talk to the Lancers about Korfmacher being the starting quarterback, he is so accurate, they said, throwing the football that gives him a great weapon. And, of course, the more successful you are long and to the wide side, it's going to make your running game more effective.
Not a criticism of Trevor Haas, the defensive coordinator, but he admitted before the season, coaching at Centerville at Division 8, you don't see a lot of passing teams. Most of the teams you see run the ball 90% of the time. Well, this is a different animal he's facing tonight, and I think Lakeshore showed the advantage they have on that drive.
What a great answer for that opening touchdown by Portage Central. I tell you what, folks, get comfortable. This is going to be a dandy. We said it was going to be one of those slobber knockers tonight. I think we've got one.
80-yard drive that time. And it took almost 5 minutes off the clock, giving that Lakeshore defense a little bit of a respite after giving up the touchdown and 2 on its first possession.
Griffin Toole in Stevensville wishes number 25, Andrew Dotson, and the entire Lancer team the best of luck for the coming season. Griffin Toole is now hiring for first and second shift. Apply in person or email jobs@griffintoole.com.
So terrific drive for Lakeshore to answer the Portage Central drive. And it's 8-7 Mustangs here early in the first, this opening night of the Michigan high school football season. A lot of action going on around the area. As you see the rainbow over to the east, our weather tonight, 84 degrees. Gentle zephyr out of the west at 4. 15% chance of rain. Maybe it's coming out of those cumulus clouds off to the east of Al Stockman Stadium.
Yeah, something tells me the lake has something to do with that. Moisture in the air.
Tyler Gates about to kick it off here for Lakeshore. He squibbed it the first time, and he'll do it again this time. And it's fielded by Jack Wilkin, and the linebacker decides to fall on it right there at the 29-yard line. So that's exactly what Lakeshore wants out of that. No return. Force Portage Central to march the field. They did that the first time they got the football.
Did it well. And Lakeshore did it as well, but they did it with a mixture of pass and run. So we'll see if things don't open up a little bit for Portage Central.
1st and 10 at the 29-yard line. I guess they're going to spot it right down at the 30 here for Portage Central.
Makes it easier on the statisticians, doesn't it? Okay, it had nothing to do with it.
Caleb Schnell, the quarterback, did not throw a pass on that first drive. Didn't need to. Portage Central was effective moving it behind its big offensive line. Put a man in motion. They give it to Frank Roseman. The fullback did not make it back to the line of scrimmage. He's hauled down from behind after a loss of 1. Nice defensive play by Drew Grau, the defensive end that time. Grau, only a junior, making his first varsity start.
Be big tonight for Lakeshore to keep Portage Central behind the chains, so to speak, and make them have those 3rd down and 8, 9, 10, 11 yards. See if they can force them to pass.
2nd and 10. Drop football. Schnell got back on top of it, but again stopped at the line of scrimmage. Grau was right there on top of him, and it's 3rd and 11. And these kind of behind the chains distances don't bode well for Portage Central. Roseman went too far to the side in order to take a handoff, and that messed up the timing of the play.
Well, it won't go down as a turnover, certainly, but you get the idea just how important that kind of a play can be when you're back in your own territory.
So 3rd and 11. Single receivers to each side of Schnell. 3-man front this time for Lakeshore. Schnell lobs it, and Josh Sturgeon can't hang on. 4th down in a punting situation for the Mustangs.
Well, last week, Chuck, in the Marion-Mishawaka game, we saw how Mishawaka was able to average over 5 yards of play on 1st down. And that first play on this drive put him behind the chains, and they had to do something they didn't want to do. Now they got a punt. They didn't want to do that either.
So 4th and 11. And Devin Porter, the running back, also handles the punting for this Portage Central team. Cage Davison back deep at his own 39, waiting the kick. Bit of a high snap, but Porter hangs a beautiful kick over the head of the punt returner, and it'll roll all the way back to the 13-yard line. What a boot by Devin Porter. That's 58 yards with no return.
Boy, you talk about a big factor. You change field position there after a drive that didn't go anywhere, so it's a good thing for them. And folks, Diamond Factory Service wishes all the Lancer athletes and all the club success in the school year. Diamond Factory Service offers the best local appliance and also repair, and they proudly serve Southwest Michigan as well as Northwest Indiana. Go Lancers from the folks at Diamond Factory Service.
Handoff to Devin Austin. He's met rather rudely by Tyler Stolsky, the All-State linebacker in the backfield. Stolsky last year made 134 tackles, and you have to remember, Portage Central only played 7 games. That's almost 19 tackles a game. I don't know that any will be as easy as this one. My goodness.
Popping and stopping.
I'm pretty sure the Lakeshore scouting report said something about blocking him.
Just on every play.
2nd and 10 from the 13. Korfmacher keeps it himself, runs over one tackler, but gets only to the 15-yard line. Pickup of 2 on that play. Good solid stop that time by the middle of the line. Charlie Wilkes comes through and makes the stop for Portage Central.
Big challenge now for the Mustangs to try to get a stop here. With that change of field position, they would stand to get the ball somewhere around midfield.
Lakeshore's defense was able to get a 3 and out after giving up a touchdown. Portage Central trying to return the favor here. 3rd and 8. Korfmacher drops back. plenty of time. Out route and dropped. Out of bounds. Incomplete. He was trying to get it to Trevor Griffiths, who caught the touchdown pass, but to no avail. You'll get another look here on the 46 Sports replay. Not the easiest ball to handle.
No, fairly well thrown though. Good idea. Trying to stretch the field to the right, to the left, and also lengthwise. They're doing a pretty good job of mixing it up.
Sophomore Alec Willian, 6'2", 160-pounder, handles the punting. Devin Porter, a very dangerous return man for Portage Central, stands at midfield. Willian, a member of the baseball team that finished as state runner-up, hangs this one high into the August night. It will take a Lakeshore roll, but not very far, down at the 47-yard line of Lakeshore. So only a 32-yard punt on that exchange of punts. Portage Central picks up 26 yards of field position.
Not a bad idea when you do it. Folks, Scott Berry Promotions, proud to support the Lancers. Scott Berry Promotions, say don't go online, keep it local and make your swag better. They help companies keep their brand fresh. It is apparel or a pen. It could be anything you need, and Scott Berry Promotions can help. Hit us up at the Swag Geek. That's a great name for Scott Berry, isn't it? The Swag Geek.
Absolutely. 1st and 10 at the 47-yard line. Caleb Schnell on a quarterback keeper, getting that bush push from behind and picking up 4 yards. Frank Roseman was like a bulldozer pushing Schnell from behind that time, and it'll be 2nd and 6.
By the way, partner, where is the first quarter gone?
Almost in the books. Maybe time for one more play. Portage Central with an 8-7 lead on the strength of a Devin Porter 2-point conversion after their opening drive touchdown. Blitz, fumbled snap, and Schnell was able to get back on it at the 44-yard line, but that's the second fumble in the backfield for the senior quarterback here in the first quarter. And that'll do it for the first 12 minutes of football in the Michigan high school season. Portage Central and Lakeshore trading first quarter touchdowns. Frank Roseman scoring for the Mustangs. It was answered by a Ryan Korfmacher strike to Trevor Griffiths. 8-7 Mustangs after 1 on 46. This edition of the TV 46 High School Football Game of the Week is being brought to you by Bill's Heating, keeping families and businesses comfortable since 1951. And ordinarily, we'd go downstairs to Bo Hunt for a Bill's Heating sideline report. He's not with us tonight, but Bob will ask you for your thoughts on what you saw in that first quarter.
Well, if Bo was here, he'd say, well, it's hot down here.
Yeah.
And it is, but it promises to cool down as the evening goes along. The thing I've noticed about both teams is they seem to be very disciplined and very ready to play. First game of the year, you might see some guys jumping offside. We've seen a penalty. We've seen a couple of dropped footballs, but for the most part, I'm really impressed with the preparation of both these teams and their head coaches.
I'm also impressed, Bob, with the adjustments. Both of them gave up easy touchdown drives on the opening possessions, but both defensive coordinators, we mentioned Trevor Haas from Portage Central, but Bill Bancroft from Lakeshore, both of them have come back, made adjustments, tightened things up, and made things much more difficult for the opposing offense. And speaking of difficult, that's what Portage Central faces here, 3rd and 8 from the Lakeshore 45.
Neutralizing that punt difference in yardage.
Schnell hands it off. Frank Roseman lowered his head but could not get the first down. He stopped at the 40-yard line. That makes a more manageable 4th and 3 for the Mustangs here, and it looks like Mick Enders will go for it.
He's got the bones in his hands. He's ready to throw them again, I guess.
You see Mick talking things over with Caleb Schnell, giving him some direction here in this veer attack. So here we go with a big 4th and 3. Pitch. It's Porter around the right side. Did he get there on second effort? No, says the linesman. It's Lakeshore football. So the Lancers come up big on a 4th down stop and take over at their own 38-yard line.
Well, what an answer. You know, again, that long punt difference was really moving the ball into Lakeshore territory, and they get a stop. Man, a lot of big plays already in this first half.
Michael Nate stands up Porter and stops him a yard short of the sticks. And we'll see how big that play is as this one progresses. Trips to the right of quarterback Ryan Korfmacher. Korfmacher looking downfield, lots of time, throwing deep. Trevor Griffiths all the way to the 23. Josh Sturgeon made the touchdown saving tackle. A pickup of 40 yards on the play.
Boy, I tell you what, this young man is really looking impressive at quarterback, and everybody bragged all week about, hey, he throws the ball really well. And they gave him a nice option because it looked like maybe Mooney might get a look at quarterback, and he might before the game's over, but he can rest up, be ready on defense.
Let me tell you, they're giving him a ton of time to throw the football too, and now they decide to keep it on the ground with big Andrew Dotson, 6'1", 193. He lowers the shoulder down to the 26-yard line in a pickup of 6. But you cannot say enough about the job this Lakeshore offensive line is doing protecting the quarterback. That time he had to throw to find Griffiths downfield. He had all the time in the world. 2nd and 5. Korfmacher gets by Stolsky, gets the first down, still on his feet. Touchdown, Korfmacher. From 17 yards away, Ryan Korfmacher with the TD. It's sponsored by Scott Berry Promotions. And you get another look on the 46 replay. Stolsky had him dead to rights, didn't wrap him up. One more tackler missed, and Korfmacher weaves his way to the end zone.
Talented runner as well, isn't he? They talked all week about Mooney maybe being the better runner, but boy, Korfmacher is really blossoming right here before us. Will he be in the blossom time parade?
Tyler Gates with the extra point. It's good. 10-11 to go first half. And after trailing 8-0, Lakeshore has answered with 14 straight. Ryan Korfmacher's debut. No wonder they're shooting off fireworks here on 46. This edition of the TV 46 High School Football Game of the Week being brought to you in part by St. Andrews Products, putting together apparel since 1989.
Well, Chuck, unless Portage Central gives Lakeshore a reason not to throw the ball, they are going to stay fast and loose with it. And I'll tell you what, this young man, Korfmacher, is really making a debut here for Lakeshore.
Terrific passing for Ryan Korfmacher so far.
TCU is a better banking institution where you'll get the latest technology and you'll never be too far from a friendly face. Discover the TCU Advantage. Become a member today at tcunet.com. Federally insured by the NCUA.
What balance so far for Lakeshore? 69 yards rushing, 75 yards passing. Korfmacher 3 out of 5. A touchdown pass and a touchdown run. Not a bad first 14 minutes of your high school football career.
Yeah, I could say that the new head coach came in with a lot of questions, but they're giving him some good answers. He likes it.
That's Tyler Gates, the senior kicker. He'll try to keep this one on the ground as he did last time and away from the talented return men of this Portage Central Mustang team. Lakeshore leading 14-8. Good crowd on hand here at Al Stockman Stadium. Gates with a little punch kick that'll hit around the 15-yard line, be picked up by one of the return men, and weaving his way through the field is Tyler Lynch, and Lynch takes it up to the 35-yard line. Decent field position here for Portage Central. You'll get another look on the 46 replay. thought for a moment Lynch might not recover it, and then once he did, he had a steam to get past people, and it was Gates, the kicker, who brought him down.
And sometimes you throw out the coverage timing on that when you hesitate or they're not sure what you're going to do.
So Caleb Schnell, who's had a little bit of a problem hanging on to the football in the backfield tonight, will hand it off to Frank Roseman, and Roseman battles his way with those strong legs up to the 41-yard line, pickup of 6. Roseman, a sprinter and a long jumper on the Portage Central track team.
Imagineering Finishing Technologies continues to be the industry knowledge source for metal finishing solutions. The 3 shops in Indiana are involved with supplying process components for aerospace giants like Boeing and SpaceX. At IFT, we're like the teams in this game tonight. We're always working for a great finish.
2nd and 4. Here's the handoff to Roseman again, and Roseman ran right up the back of the leg of Tyler Stolsky. You could see Stolsky grimace a little bit, but he gets up okay, and it'll be 3rd and 2.
Another big opportunity for Lakeshore's defense.
Lakeshore came up with a big stop on the last Portage Central possession on 4th down. That set the stage for the ensuing touchdown drive. A few more clouds have rolled in off of Lake Michigan and made it much more pleasant here.
Yeah, they're all welcome. Clouds get in free tonight.
3rd and 2. Handoff, Roseman stopped in the backfield, thrown down by Gavin DeHaven, the 6'3", 240-pound senior. DeHaven breaking through that offensive line. He came right behind the left guard, threw down his man with help from Tanner Jackson. 4th and 3, and it'll be a punting situation here for Portage Central.
Chuck, we're seeing a whole lot of fundamental effort by this Lakeshore team when it comes to tackling and assignments. Doing a great job tonight.
Porter skies this one, but it gets a terrific roll, and it'll go down to the 22-yard line. So a 36-yard punt with no return, and Lakeshore will take over back in its own territory. Well, Danny Thompson takes over a Lakeshore football program that has a tradition of excellence. Lakeshore has had just 1 losing season since 1987. That was back in 2019, Brian Kimes' final year at the helm. You think of what Denny Dock did with this program. Over 270 wins in his career. Dock used to coach at Dowagia, came over when Lakeshore football was absolutely nothing. Built it into the program that it is today, which is a perennial power down in Southwest Michigan. 1st and 10, a little crossbuck action. Devin Austin fumbles the football. It's still loose, and Portage Central says they have it and they do at the 32. Tyler Stolsky, the All-State linebacker, with the fumble recovery. After Austin lost the handle going into traffic, you'll see it again on the 46 replay.
Well, in our keys to win, we talk about how important it was to hang on to the football. Big turnover there. I tell you what, things are evening up. You know, you think about the long punt and the fumble recovery, and then you think about the long passes and things. I mean, it's been a lot of terrific efforts here in the first half.
Jack Wilchin with the punch of the football that time for Portage Central to knock it away. It's 1st and 10. Schnell wants to throw, lobs it out there, has Devin Porter. Porter tripped up at the 15-yard line by Zach Warren, but not before he gets a first down. Pickup of 17 on Schnell's first pass of the night, and he was almost able to throw the surprise party on Bill Bancroft's defense.
Good execution there by Schnell.
Warren used to making slides like that on the baseball diamond. Zach Warren threw a no-hitter in the state semifinals last year for Lakeshore. And the sliding tackle he made on Porter may have stopped a touchdown. 1st and 10 from the 15. Porter in motion. Schnell on the keeper on the quarterback option. Schnell brought down at the 11-yard line. Good open field tackle that time by Alec Woyan. And he had help from Andrew Lees.
Our sincere thanks to the wonderful team at St. Andrews Products. They supply our broadcast crew with the finest apparel. They can do the same for your team or school or your business. Promotional items, advertising specialties, business gifts, and more. Visit them at sales@standrewscorp.com for more information.
2nd and 6 from the 11. Roseman up the middle of the defense, takes it down to the 5, and it looks like he'll have a 1st and goal for Portage Central at that spot. It was a similar play where Roseman was able to gash the Lakeshore defense back in the first quarter for Portage Central's lone touchdown of the game so far. But the Mustangs knocking at the door right here. 1st and goal at the 5.
Back and forth we go.
Lakeshore trying to get some fresh bodies on the field for this goal line stand. Tyler Lynch comes in with the play for Portage Central. And a timeout called by Mick Enders, and Portage Central will take a break. 6:05 to go here in the first half. Lakeshore clinging to a 14-8 lead, but the Mustangs are galloping towards the end zone. And this edition of the TV46 High School Football Game of the Week being brought to you in part by TCU, empowering members for 90 years, federally insured by the NCUA. Well, a reminder, more high school football tomorrow night. We go back to the state of Indiana for the battle for the Cable Line Cup. Jimtown at Concord, Friday at 11, Saturday at 9. Here we are, high atop Al Stockman Stadium. We'll be over at Jake Field tomorrow night for that one. Hope I've got some sunscreen back here on my neck. That's not looking good right now, I'm telling you.
Yeah. Little sweat mixed in there with that.
6:05 to go first half, 14-8 in favor of the Lancers. But here's Frank Roseman up the middle. Did not get very far, only a pickup of 1. Met by a cadre of Lakeshore tacklers. Colin Robinson leading the way that time, one of the defensive tackles.
Chuck will have to keep an eye on the last 6 minutes here in the first half to see if it's affecting anybody from Portage Central. Maybe getting a little bit tired. They're going with about 5 or 6 players going both ways here in this ball game.
2nd and goal from the 4. Schnell pitches out. Porter has a seam. Porter has a touchdown. Devin Porter finds the end zone for the first time this year. He had 5 rushing touchdowns a year ago. And the senior ties it up at 14 pending the extra point.
Pretty good effort to convert after that turnover.
Now let's see if Portage Central will go for 2 again. And it appears that they will, so a huge 2-point conversion right here. Trying to take a 2-point lead. Schnell on the reverse, so that was too easy as Josh Sturgeon on some misdirection takes it on in. Wonderful play call by Mick Enders and his staff. First, another look at the touchdown to Porter. And look at the hole that he gets on the outside thanks to the blocking of Lucas Gear and Tyler Lynch. And then you come back with the 2-point conversion. Everybody looking to the right. Sturgeon comes back to the left, and hello, there he is. By the time the camera and the defense found him, it was too late.
We've had a 30-point first half, and still you can talk about some of the really good defense we've seen here in this ballgame.
Well, a 16-14 lead. I suppose the only bad part of this right now for Mick Enders is what he might find in the history books, because while Portage Central has won 4 of the last 5 in the series, they've done it with defense, and all 4 of those Mustang wins, Lakeshore scored 13 or less. Well, they're already past that point tonight. Maybe that bodes well for the Lancers.
Well, we'll certainly see. There have been some ebbs and flows in this game. Just as promised, a terrific matchup. Portage Central and the Lakeshore Lancers.
Portage Central just to the south of Kalamazoo. Mick Enders says that he is able to watch our 46 games of the week on Friday night and Saturday morning. He enjoys them because he's got some relatives down in northern Indiana that are on some of those teams, and we hope that the folks up at Portage Central tonight are able to watch on our Facebook live stream. It's sponsored by our friends at Scott Berry Promotions.
Boy, it's great to hear those comments too. You know, people get a chance to watch. You don't see them a lot, but first thing Coach Enders did when he came over says, we really enjoy what you guys do, and he thanked us for it. And we thank all these coaches and administrators who help us do our job, because we really enjoy it as well.
I'll tell you what, while we may have taken a cut in audience this year, it is sure nice to see people back at games. Remember at Michigan last year, you could only have 200 people in the stands, no matter what. We're well past that tonight. That might be the student section here at Lakeshore, 200 people. They've got a great crowd here at Al Stockman Stadium tonight. The kickoff by Aaron Pollock hits and is finally taken by Cage Davison at the 11. Davison sidestepped one tackler, couldn't sidestep Lucas Gear. He and a bunch of friends wrestled him down at the 22-yard line. But take a look at this assemblage here at Al Stockman Stadium. Remember, folks, it's still August. It's not exactly football weather out here. School hasn't started yet. A lot of people might be out at the beach or still on vacation, but my goodness, what a great crowd here. It just shows how hungry these people are to support this Lakeshore program. Both these schools have tremendous booster clubs. Lakeshore with Ryan Korfmacher back at quarterback. He has a touchdown throwing and a touchdown running, and he'll hand it off here to Andrew Dotson. And Dotson rambles forward close to the first down marker. Didn't quite get there as he stopped at the 30-yard line.
Boy, just about enough time for Lakeshore as they're patient on offense, move down the field, maybe get the go-ahead points here in the first half. But, man, there have been just so many good hits in this ball game, too. And it's great to see the Division I players playing well and getting some good hits, but some of the little guys out here tonight are playing their hearts out.
2nd and 1. Can do a lot of things here. They go to Andrew Dotson. He runs for the first down out to the 35-yard line. Tyler Stolsky with the tackle, but the first down sponsored by Mr. Gilos.
Another first down. We'll run down all the stats for you at halftime, and we'll feature our Student Athletes of the Week, brought to you by TCU.
Michael Nate is the player that's down on the field, and the coaches and trainers will come out to attend to him. He may have gotten rolled up a little bit on that play, and so the trainers are going to tend to him.
Chuck, you mentioned the Lakeshore football boosters. They want to thank all the students in the Red Rage student section. Check out the Lakeshore Game Day custom Snapchat filters. New custom Snapchat filters will be available for games, so you can remember to check them out. And then while attending all of the Lakeshore football games, you can enjoy that aspect as well. Boy, technology is just really going in it.
It is. We appreciate it. Tanner Jackson looking on from the sidelines. Michael Nate hobbles off the field. But we'll see if he's able to come back tonight. Got a big part of that Lakeshore offensive line that has given good protection for quarterback Ryan Korfmacher. 4:32 and counting here in the first half. See the clock, bottom right corner of the Intera Credit Union scoreboard. The handoff to Dotson. He's going nowhere this time. He is wrapped up by Cross Watson, the big nose tackle who's headed to Purdue. Watson is the first player to commit to a Big Ten school from Portage Central since 1994. And you can see why on plays like this. Just fought off the center and came over and wrapped up Dotson like he was wrapping up a sandwich. Really interesting young man. I can't wait to learn more about him at halftime. The one thing I saw in his bio that I'm sure you'll talk to him about, he repairs pinball machines.
Right. And he wants to study electrical engineering at Purdue.
Here's Korfmacher with time to throw, but nobody open, so he throws it away, and he'll wait for 3rd and 10. That's a smart and heady play by Korfmacher. A lot of kids in their first start would try to squeeze it in there, force the issue. Korfmacher says it's only 2nd down. Let's see if we could get this done on third.
And you certainly can't afford another turnover here in the first half.
In fact, that turnover looming very large in this game right now because it's the reason Portage Central has the 16-14 lead. Trevor Griffiths, number 5, has been the go-to man for Korfmacher tonight. He is split in the slot to the left. Korfmacher wants to throw. Griffiths was open, but instead he goes behind him and gets a first down that way with Brandon Hodder, the 6-foot senior from the basketball team. And Hodder is able to pick up 15 yards on the first down, sponsored by Mr. Guideros.
Well, when you stretch a team lengthwise, you come up with opportunities like that. That's what I really like about what they've done here in the first half for Lakeshore. They've really put together a game plan. They've executed it pretty well.
Hodder cut right in front of Frank Roseman that time to make the catch. His first of the season. Right at the midfield stripe, 1st and 10. They'll hand it off, and Andrew Dotson was read well by Cross Watson again that time. Watson, very talented athlete, as you might think for a guy that's going Division I Purdue, but Watson, not only on the football team, he's a member of the baseball team, which had a very good season last year for Portage Central, and he loves to ski. I'm telling you what, you see that guy going down the mountain, you get out of the way.
You got that right. Well, he could go down any of the trails and probably take some people with him.
He is the trail once he goes down. It's 2nd and 11. Korfmacher swings it out. Cage Davison will have this play called back as a clip is called in the backfield against Lakeshore. And we'll see if Mick Enders wants to take the penalty or let the result of the play stand. Given the way Lakeshore's had success throwing the ball, you might be better off taking the penalty here.
Yeah, I think so. And again, not a whole lot of penalties in this first half. Just a second against Lakeshore.
The officials had their choice of penalties there. They could have called a clip or a hold. Both would have been applicable.
You know, one thing about the officials, the game tonight, they're doing a great job of monitoring the health of the kids. The breaks have been a little bit longer than they usually would be, and they have the discretion to stop play if they want to, if they think it's going to help the young people, and that's a great thing. The Michigan High School Athletic Association, just like the IHSA that we work with most of the time, very concerned about the kids putting their welfare first.
And in need of more officials, so if you're interested at all, contact your local officials association. 2nd and 23. Korfmacher in trouble, throws it too high for Zach Warren that time, and it'll be 3rd and 23, and the clock stops at 2:25 to go first half. Reminder, coming up at halftime, we've got the Griffin Tool halftime report. You'll meet our TCU Student Athletes of the Week, plus highlights and stats from this one.
And we have a doubleheader this week. We'll be over at Concord High School tomorrow night on TV 46. Jimtown Jimmies and the Concord Minutemen playing for the award that Chuck Freeby named 58 years ago.
No.
Cable Line Cup on the line tomorrow.
Cable Line Cup. They've been playing that one since 1961. That series all even at 30 apiece. But as you take a look at Danny Thompson, his first year here at Lakeshore, he is a graduate of Thornapple Kellogg High School. Then he went to Olivet College to play football, had a back injury there. That's when he got into coaching. And after a stint down in Florida, he came back to Middleville High School. The head coach at Middleville High School is a fellow by the name of Jeff Dock, as in the son of Denny Dock. And so when Jeff found out his dad was retiring, he said to Danny, you might want to go to that job. It's a pretty good one.
It's a great one.
Danny got here, took a look at the facilities, and that's all he needed. He was sold.
And when you meet the athletic director here, Greg Younger, what a commitment he has to excellence in athletics. And to me, that's always the best mark of an athletic director. When you put everything in place for your teams to have the most success, you're doing a great job.
It is 3rd and 23 for Lakeshore, each team with 2 timeouts left here in the first half, as you can see by those yellow lines underneath the team names on our Intera Credit Union scoreboard. Korfmacher will throw it out in the flat. Zach Warren makes the catch. And here's another flag against Lakeshore, this one for a hold. At this point, Mick Enders will probably take the result of the play and force Lakeshore to kick with 2:17 left in the half and hope that his team can get the ball down the field in a hurry.
That would be enough time to do some damage, and gotten a little sloppy here at the end of the first half for Lakeshore. And again, we're trying to read when we can. If it shows somebody's getting a little bit tired, or got to give credit to Portage Central. They're putting a lot of pressure, a lot of heat on where they think they can attack.
Here's the hold coming up on the outside. It's not right there by Lee's. It's a little bit further down the field. You see the official already throwing the flag on Brandon Hodder. So Hodder was called for the hold. The result of the play stands. It's 4th and 18 and a kicking situation for Alec Woyan. And back deep is Devin Porter standing at about his own 30. Play clock starts now, but the game clock rolling along as well, and Lakeshore would like to drain about 15 more seconds here before they have to kick the football. Danny Thompson trying to tell his kids, don't snap it, don't snap it. I think he's going to take a timeout, and he will with 1:53 to go here in the first half.
Yeah, you can't save those for the second half, so might as well use one here. And it's also going to give his team a chance to get ready to get downfield, maybe get some good coverage on this. And again, if you can get Portage Central back around their own 20-yard line, you'd have a chance for them maybe to just sit on the ball for the rest of the half.
Over down the road in St. Joseph, Vicksburg is playing Dowagiac tonight. Vicksburg's home field wasn't ready for the opener, so they moved it to Dickinson Stadium. And didn't matter for Vicksburg. They're up 27-0. Meanwhile, Niles with a new coach that might be familiar to some of our Indiana fans. Scott Shaw is the head coach these days for the Vikings. And Niles has a 12-0 lead on Sturgis with about 1:14 to go in the first half. So that would be a fascinating debut for Scott Shaw, who plays this week and then has a big rivalry game with Buchanan next week. Buchanan not playing tonight because Hartford didn't have enough players.
Well, I'll tell you what, happy for Scott Shaw. He did a good job at Elkhart Memorial. He combined the high schools over in Elkhart, so he was not the head coach for the new combination. Josh Shattuck is doing a good job with that, but Scott Shaw finds the place. And boy, Niles, they can get something going up there. I think the community would really get behind him.
What a pump by Woyan. Over the head of Porter. It'll go inside the 10 and be down at the 5-yard line. That is a 53-yard punt with no return. We've seen a couple of dandies, one from each side so far tonight.
Man, what a bomb at the right time.
By the way, one more Michigan score to pass along just north of the state line. Brandywine with the lead on defending state champion Centerville, 22-14. That game in the second quarter.
Partner, some news concerning the COVID condition or situation. Northwood was going to have to cancel, but they got some good news.
Yeah, they're going to go to play Logansport Friday night down in Indiana. Have not heard of any COVID cancellations of games here in Southwest Michigan so far, but in Indiana, you're starting to get those creeping signs of that insidious virus taking its toll on football teams. So far, the Northwood East Noble game that was scheduled for Friday night was the only one. Well, South Central and Culver were canceled as well. South Central wound up picking up Griffith. Northwood wound up picking up Logansport.
Nice.
We hope that that's the extent, but reality tells us it may be another year here in 2021 where teams have to be flexible and definitely protective of themselves.
Yeah, you really feel for the seniors on these teams that happens, because you don't get to come back and do it again. This is it.
Nick Ender's squad was all set to start the season last year at Portage Central. One of the coaches came down with COVID, and they had to cancel the opening game. That's why they only played 7 games last year. Wound up losing the first 3, coming back winning 3. They benefited from the fact that last year Michigan had a playoff system similar to Indiana's where everybody got in, won the first round game, and then lost in round 2 to East Lansing. Minute 43 to go here in the first half. Let's see how aggressive Portage Central will be, and based on this formation, not at all. They are going to take time off the clock here and be content to go to the locker room with a 2-point lead here at the intermission because Lakeshore is out of timeouts and can't do anything about the clock. So normally at this point, I'd toss it down to Bo Hunt for a Bills Heating sideline report. But Bob, I'll ask you, as you take a look at this first half, we mentioned heat and fatigue. You said you might have seen some signs of that from Lakeshore. What else impressed you about this first half from both sides?
Well, I think just the focus that both teams had coming in here. This is a big game for them. I mean, this is one that they look forward to, whether it's a season opener or midseason, and they're really ready to play. I think, what we got to look for in the second half is adjustments that the coaches made. We saw them make good adjustments in that first quarter, and it'll be important to see just how everybody reacts after halftime and get their fresh legs under it.
Well, and you mentioned big games. It's a big game for a couple of reasons. You mentioned the season opener. It's a big game because it's a conference game, and both of these teams have hopes of winning the SMAC title. And it's a big game because in Michigan, there are no mulligans. You need to have a certain amount of wins in order to make the playoffs. And a loss here tonight is costly to both of these teams in their playoff hopes. So that's the way it looks from up here as we close out the first half here at Al Stockman Stadium with Portage Central on top of Lakeshore by a count of 16-14. The emotions running high here in Stevensville tonight as both teams showed after the touchdowns. A lot of happiness as they find Hallelujah Land, but it's Portage Central up by 2 at halftime. Stick around. Our Griffin Tool halftime report and our TCU student athletes are next on 46.
And we welcome you back to Stockman Stadium here in beautiful Stevensville, Michigan. We're at Lakeshore High School and a chance to talk with our student athletes of the week brought to you by TCU. TCU reminds you to go online at tcunet.com and find out how you can become a member today. Well, Logan Mooney is with us from Lakeshore High School, and Cross Watson is with us from Portage Central. And Cross, we're going to talk to you first. Congratulations on all you've done, certainly on the field, but also you're getting it done in the classroom.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that.
You got a chance to extend your football career. Some team called the Boilermakers interested in you.
Yeah, I committed to Purdue last June for academic and football reasons.
What is going to be your line of study, do you think?
I want to go into mechanical engineering. I've always had a mind for that kind of stuff. I like taking things apart, putting them back together, so that's definitely what I want to pursue.
And we'll always look at our notes on our players before we do the interviews, and it said you like to fix pinball machines. And you got started in kind of an honest way. You had one that broke down.
Yeah, so my dad, he bought this pinball machine from one of his people at work, and it broke down. I opened it up with him, looked inside, fixed it up, and it just kind of started from there. And from then, we've had over probably 25 pinball machines coming in and out of our house, fixing them up and selling them.
Good for you. Talk about the people in your life that have mattered, the people that have had your back.
Yeah, 100% it'd be my family. Like my dad, my mom, they've helped me throughout this whole entire process. My dad and I have restless nights. We've been up in this recruiting process, getting through all this. My mom's driving me back and forth, feeding me, all this kind of stuff. It's just, my family means the most to me.
That's terrific, and so proud of what you've done already. Looking forward to seeing you in the black and gold.
Yeah, me too.
All right, Cross Watson. He's from Portage Central, and joining us now, Logan Mooney from Lakeshore High School. And Logan is involved with football and also involved in track, and got pretty good speed out there. You're going to be playing linebacker tonight.
Yes, sir. It's going to be debut on defense.
That should be a lot of fun, and you got a tough opponent here in Portage Central. Talk about your career and what's been important to you as far as football.
Well, importance, like just moving forward. We've had a lot of rough years so the past few years, especially in my class, but just keep moving forward, keep pushing through it, and being gritty. You know, battling through injuries, battling through position competitions, but we're a gritty team, and we're going to push through, and we're going to see it through.
That's great. And you're talking about maybe walking on at a Division I school, and you've got a favorite, right?
Yeah, born and raised an Alabama fan. Roll Tide. and middle name's Bryant, named after the great Bear Bryant, pretty much Jesus in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. But yeah, I want to get involved in coaching, so I'm hoping I can walk on to a big-time program and get involved, and maybe I can see football be part of my life for next 50 years.
Well, that'd be great. Wish you all the best of luck with that. I know you've got a team behind you as well.
Oh yeah, great team, very physical. We fly to the football. Very excited. We got a great coaching staff, great team, and we're ready to kick butt.
How about those people at home that have been behind you?
Well, we got a great family. Mom and dad, super supportive. We're a football family, so they've always pushed me to get in the weight room, get better. Great little siblings. I have a sister, Peyton. She's making her debut as a cheerleader tonight. And little brother, Carson, he's been our water boy the past few years, ball boy, and he's the biggest fan in the world.
Well, that's great. We wish you all the best of luck. Congratulations on all you've been successful with so far. I think you're going to do great.
Thank you.
All right, Logan Mooney from Lakeshore High School. These are our Student Athletes of the Week, brought to you by TCU. TCU reminds you to go online at tcunet.com and find out how you can become a member today. We're back with halftime stats and highlights in just a moment. You're watching the TV 46 High School Football Game of the Week.
And our Grip and Tool halftime report is sponsored in part by Crown Trophy. They're nationally known and locally owned. Halftime here in Stevensville with Portage Central, the visitors, leading the homestanding Lancers by a count of 16-14. Chuck and Bob high atop the fray here at Al Stockman. Poor Matt Kowalski down there trying to shoot us from about a mile away, it seems. But nevertheless, your thoughts on the first half?
Well, again, there were so many good plays, so many big plays. Stops on fourth down. There were big punts from both teams. There was also a couple long passes and a good run. What kind of surprised me about the first half is that there were so many big plays, and yet nobody lost momentum. Both teams continued to play very confident football.
Let's show you how it got to be this way here at Al Stockman Stadium. Portage Central struck first on the opening drive. Frank Roseman found a seam, took it right down the middle for the touchdown. And then the Mustangs go for two, and Devin Porter hits a hole on the outside. 8-0 Portage Central. But back came Lakeshore on its opening drive of the season. Ryan Korfmacher in his first start goes behind everybody to Trevor Griffith's 8-7 ball game. Lakeshore would grab the lead as Korfmacher, with some sleight of hand, avoids two tacklers, follows the convoy into the end zone. 14-8 Lakeshore, but after a fumble, Devin Porter gets some nice blocking there from Gear and Lynch to go on in to tie the game. Josh Sturgeon on the ensuing two-point conversion gives Portage Central the lead, and the Mustangs are up by two despite being dominated in the stat category right now.
Well, getting two-point conversions, a 4-point difference right there, and that's why they have a 2-point lead. You look at these numbers, and it looks like, well, Lakeshore had themselves a really good first half, and they did. They balanced in running and passing. They had total yards just under 200. Meanwhile, Portage Central only put up 105 yards, but Chuck, they had a short field to go after the turnover. That one turnover on the stat sheet there, so big in this game, and they're playing so clean. Again, 2 penalties in the whole first half. Both of them were on Lakeshore. So Lakeshore had a little bit of cleaning up to do at halftime. They had a couple penalties, and they had the turnover. Other than that, tremendous football game, and just looking forward to the next 16 minutes.
Lakeshore Palms are performing here at halftime, hoping to inspire the home crowds with some cheering. And the football team hopes to do the same in the second half. It's Portage Central 16, Lakeshore 14. This has been the Grip and Tool halftime report. Second half play-by-play from Michigan comes your way after this on 46. This edition of the TV 46 High School Football Game of the Week brought to you in part by Imagineering Finishing Technologies, IFT, where quality is a way of life. Chuck Freeby, Bob Nagel back with you as you watch Caleb Schnell warm up for the second half. Normally we would have a Bills heating sideline report at this point, Bob, and we would talk about adjustments. I saw one from Portage Central that stood out to me late first half. And that's the press coverage that they were able to use on the receivers in order to not give people so much cushion to get open against them. For Lakeshore, what kind of adjustments do they have to make against that veer attack of Portage Central?
Well, what they like them to do is have Lakeshore bring all their big guys or their defense to the middle, and then they might have a chance. And they've got some good players like Parker can get outside and create some big opportunities. But I just think that we saw a good first half, ebb and flow, good adjustments, and I think we'll see more of that in the second half. And by the way, hats off to the fans here at Lakeshore who knew where the shade was tonight. they're on this side of Stockman Stadium, and the visitors had to kind of sit in the sun, but some of them came over here. But, partner, I got to compliment you. I've never seen anybody run as fast as you did during the break to go get a sweater.
I don't think that was the case tonight. If anything, we probably both need a little bit of sunscreen. And unfortunately for me, it's starting to be needed back here.
Well, your mother told you to come out on top. Look at you.
Yeah, I used to have mom's hairline. Now I'm starting to get dad's. Therein lies the problem. So we are just about ready for the second half to begin. You take a look at Tanner Jackson, part of this Lakeshore defense. And here's a fun fact about Tanner, is that he's the only one of the top 15 tacklers from last year's team to be back this year. So a Lakeshore defense that a year ago only gave up an average of 11 points a game, you knew they were going to take a step back. You can't lose that much talent and that much experience and not take a step back. But what they do here in the second half could well determine the fate of their season. And I know Jackson, one of the leaders of this defense, will try to rally the troops here in the second half against Portage Central.
Well, we know they've got some speed on this Lakeshore team in addition to Griffin, so we'll see if they don't open it up a little bit more. Korfmacher had himself a great first half, and we're just about ready to go in the second half of our season opener from Michigan, our second game on TV 46. My partner's up to midseason form. Here's Chuck Fraby with the play-by-play of the second half.
Aaron Pollock will kick it off for Portage Central. Cage Davison is the deep man. Pollock gets the whistle of permission and sends this one hurtling downfield. Davison on the run from the 10. The third place finisher in the state in the long jump works his way down the field to the 28-yard line. And that's where he's brought down by Andrew Dingus and Tyler Lynch. So it'll be 1st and 10 from the 28 for the Lancers. And let's see if Danny Thompson makes any adjustments here at halftime offensively. He'll stick with Ryan Korfmacher as his quarterback, or why not? Korfmacher 5 of 9 in the first half for 95 yards and a touchdown throwing, and he also had a rushing touchdown.
Yeah, we thought he had one drop for sure, and a couple times he just threw the ball away. I love a young quarterback that understands the value of an incomplete pass.
High snap, and he did well that time to get back just a little bit past the line of scrimmage. That's where Lucas Gear was able to bring him down. This was a little bit of a problem for Lakeshore at practice when we saw them on Monday. And Nolan Thompson with a bit of a high snap right there. So it's 2nd and 9. Trips to the left of Korfmacher. And Korfmacher instead looks to his right, fires a bullet, and Jack Valenziano makes the catch. And he's just a little bit short, it appears, maybe of the first down marker. No, the linesman says, go ahead, move the chains. Mr. Guido sponsors the first down after a pickup of 9. And that'll put Korfmacher over 100 yards passing in his varsity debut.
And a big first down to start the second half. Again, you're down by 2. It's not a big deficit, but you don't want to give Portage Central a chance to go up by more than a touchdown. So big drive here for Lakeshore.
1st and 10 from the 38. The handoff up the middle, and Andrew Dotson with a nice carry for 4 yards. And that'll set up a 2nd and 6. Dotson kind of the change of pace man for this Lakeshore team in the backfield. They have Devin Atkins, who is a speedster, but Atkins had that fumble in the first half. And since that time, it's been Dotson toting the ball in the backfield.
And one of the big runs we saw in that first half was from Korfmacher. And, you know, you get Dotson getting some positive yardage up the middle. You give him a little ball fake and run it yourself. It was a good opportunity.
2nd and 6. It's Dotson again trying to work his way around the left side, and he gets tripped up that time. Nice tackle by Josh Sturgeon, the senior linebacker, member of the track team at Portage Central. And he was able to hold him to a pickup of 2, so it's 3rd and 4. Might be a little bit early to consider it 4-down territory on your own side of the field. I think it kind of depends on how close you get here on 3rd down. Look at this formation for Lakeshore. 3 receivers in a triangle at the bottom of your screen. Korfmacher, though, looks the other way and led his receiver too far. That's really the first overthrow for Korfmacher tonight. Too far for Brandon Hodder. It's 4th down.
Well, and you look at where they're at just outside of midfield and get another one of those good punts, maybe 40, 45 yarder, you tuck them deep in their own territory.
That would be one line of thinking. It's not Danny Thompson's right now. Unless he's just going to try to draw Portage Central offside. Korfmacher again looking to the sideline, and Thompson looking down at the play clock. And standing next to the official, he wants to take a timeout, and so he will. We'll keep it here with 9:53 to go, 3rd quarter.
Alex's Veggies, proud to support the folks here at Lakeshore, their athletics and all the clubs in the school, and the fall sports teams. Want to wish them all the best of success. Alex's Veggies offers a variety of seasonal fruits and vegetables, and they will have all of your fall decor available for you in the coming season. They're open 7 days a week. Visit Alex's Veggies on Washington Avenue and reach them on Facebook or Instagram as well.
You've seen the 2 coaches, and they have a lot in common. Both Mick Enders and Danny Thompson are Michigan natives, alums of Olivet College, and former offensive line coaches. In fact, Danny Thompson said a lot of people heard that when he runs the spread offense, they thought, oh, you're going to be a finesse coach. He goes, there's no offensive line coach that's allowed to stay in the union and be a finesse coach.
That's right. It's something you got to do when you don't have the size. You see teams like Air Force and Navy do that.
4th and 4, and Alec Woyan will put the boot to it. A line drive punt that's fielded nicely by Porter. Back at his 18-yard line, Porter gets to the outside and is tripped up at the 31-yard line on a one-hand tackle out there, but a nice return by Devin Porter, who may be a shortstop on the baseball team, even though he is a track athlete. Look at this little nifty grab with the left hand, and Tanner Jackson wound up making the tackle that time.
And I have to get that guy a big sweater with all those letters he's putting on there.
1st and 10 from the 31-yard line. Portage Central trying to pad a 2-point lead here in the 3rd. Caleb Schnell at quarterback. And whistles blown and flags thrown before the play got underway. And we've got a illegal procedure penalty on the Mustangs. That's their first penalty of the night.
Pretty clean start to the season. Outstanding.
That'll make it 1st and 15 from the 26-yard line. And that's been one area of difficulty for Portage Central tonight, is when they get behind the chains, when they have those double digits in the yards to go category. All of a sudden they wind up struggling a little bit. Man in motion, but they keep it with Schnell, and he's wrestled down the line of scrimmage. Nice open field tackle that time for Lakeshore. Coming in to make the stop, Colin Intveld. And Augustin Etheridge came in, wearing 88 tonight.
Look like they have people spying on the quarterback here tonight. Schnell has not been real successful running the ball.
So it's 2nd and 15. Schnell has just one completion tonight for 17 yards. He'll hand it off here. Frank Roseman, look out. It's a race to the end zone, and Roseman's going to win it. Touchdown, Portage Central. 74 yards, no flags. So Roseman surges over the 100-yard mark for the night, and here's how. He popped a touchdown run through the middle in the first half, and he does it here. They were able to block Etheridge from the linebacker slot that time, and once Roseman was even, he was leaving.
Well, you have to give the coaching staff at Portage Central credit for finding maybe what they thought was going to be a little hole and a quick release. And man, I tell you what, he was out of there in a hurry.
Roseman now with 10 carries, 121 yards, and a couple of touchdowns on the night. And again, the Mustangs will go for 2. The pitch to Porter. He gets to the outside, nothing doing this time. And Lakeshore keeps it a one-possession game with that stop. But Portage Central got themselves a little bit more breathing room with some nice blocking up front. Beautiful block by Cross Watson, and that's from Frank Roseman to the house. Portage Central leads it by 8 in the third on 46. This edition of the TV46 High School Football Game of the Week brought to you by Intera Credit Union. We get it, and we've got it. Chuck Freeby, Bob Nagel back with you at Al Stockman Stadium. Beautiful summer's evening. After the sun has gone down, it is cooling nicely here in Stevensville. Unfortunately for Lakeshore, the Portage Central offense heating up, especially the ground game. Frank Roseman with a 74-yard touchdown run to build the Portage Central lead to 22-14.
Folks, Honor Credit Union wishes the best for all the athletes, for the Lancers, and all the clubs as well. This school year will be very special for them, and they are ready to help you as well with great quality, equity, and a wonderful performance when it comes to income products as well. You're going to buy a new car? Come see us at Honor Credit Union in Stevensville. All your banking needs to be taken care of at Honor Credit Union.
So it's 22-14 in favor of Portage Central. That is Aaron Pollock, and he does the kicking for the Mustangs. Cage Davison is the deep man, hoping to get a little bit of room to run here on special teams and maybe get Lakeshore right back in it with a lightning strike.
Use one of those.
Davison, a state finalist in the 100 meters in Michigan, takes the kick at his own 13. Comes to the left side, going up the middle. Davison runs by the kicker. He's got one man to beat. Davison to the end zone. Touchdown, Lakeshore. Explosive, the proper word for Cage Davison. As you take a look on this one, watch the wedge set up in the middle of the field, down on the right-hand corner of your screen. Davison gets blockers in front of him, and every one of them takes out a man. And then right here, number 17, Valenziano, he takes care of the last guy. And all Davison had to do was run, and he does it really, really well.
Did a good job of changing speeds a couple of times just to allow his blockers to have a good chance to get up front and do their job. Boy, what a great return.
And now with Lakeshore putting out a rather different formation and Logan Mooney at quarterback for the two-point conversion, Portage Central calls a timeout so that they can set up, because this is a critical play right here. It can tie the game for the Lancers.
Well, and that's how big that stop was on the last two-point conversion. You're only up 8. You gave a chance to come back and tie it up. So. Boy, what a night. Cooled down nicely. It's probably dropped about 15 degrees, I think, since we got here. Still warm, but not too bad.
Danny Thompson, the cool facade on the outside, I guarantee. He's like the duck on the water. Looks great up top. Inside, the churning going on.
Folks, Mr. Giro's in Stevensville is proud to support the Lakeshore Lancers. Mr. Giros has all the favorites that you wanted. They've been voted the best Greek restaurant in the area for over 20 years. Come visit for great gyros. And keep in mind that they are ready to serve you with burgers and much more. That's
Well,
Mr.
Logan
Gyros.
Mooney didn't fool anybody right there, particularly Lucas Gear and Tyler Stolsky. They had this power formation in the backfield for the two-point conversion, and the snap was high. Mooney could not do much with it, and that spoils the two-point conversion, but there were just too many bodies coming at Logan Mooney that time.
Good job there by Portage Central to jump up and nullify the big return, holding them to just the 6 points.
So back to where we were at halftime, a two-point ball game. And now Lakeshore will kick off, and let's see if the Lakeshore defense can answer the call right here. As you take another look from our perch high above Al Stockman Stadium, can't say enough about Greg Younger, the athletic director here at Lakeshore, and the facilities that they have, this wonderful field. And they just built a new field house just to the south here of Al Stockman Stadium, with a nice little $17 million donation from Mr. Bob Cohn in memory of his wife Betty. And look at this picturesque scene here tonight in Stevensville. What a beautiful facility.
Really is. The fans turned out tonight. The band sounded great. And I'll tell you what, this early in the year, they were under a little pressure too, and they got it done.
So there you see Cage Davison, the man of the moment right now for Lakeshore, with that big 87-yard kickoff return for the score to bring the Lancers back within 2 in this one. And I don't think Lakeshore will be giving Portage Central an opportunity for that kind of return. They haven't throughout the night.
We know Bo Schembeck thought about Rocket getting it twice.
And since then, thinking has changed.
Yeah.
Tyler Yates with a squib kick here. That'll be fielded on the hop back at the 12 by Lynch. Lynch trying to find his way up the field. Submarined at the 30-yard line. Good job on the tackle there by Trevor Griffiths. And so Portage Central will take over 1st and 10 at its own 30.
Chuck, you wonder on that last kickoff return by Lakeshore, was Portage Central maybe getting a couple of fresh bodies in the game to give their starters a rest since they got so many guys going both ways? Could have been, but looked like a good effort, but just good blocking by Lakeshore.
Danny Thompson told us Monday at practice, we asked him about his special teams, and one of the things he said was, it's nothing but starters on the special teams. And boy, they look like starters on that kickoff return. Here's Frank Roseman having a big night, and he staggers his way up the field for 6 yards this time. But Roseman holding his leg before he gets up off the field, and that would be a big blow for this Portage Central team. You hope that it's just a cramp, which is very easy to have on a night like this, and that's the area they're working, that calf of Frank Roseman. As you take another look here, and maybe a little bit of extra weight coming down on it, and he landed a little bit awkwardly on that right leg. So while Roseman stays down on the field.
Let's talk to you about Shadler Shed in Stevensville. And I tell you what, they want everybody to know how proud they are of the Lakeshore Lancers, and want to wish them the best of luck all this season. Shadler's Shed has been family owned and operated for over 60 years. And I'll tell you what, they have fresh fruits, vegetables, everything they have is locally grown. So you want to visit Shadler's Shed. It's on Washington Avenue here in Stevensville.
We'll take a break. 8:17 to go in the third. 22-20 Portage Central on 46. This edition of the TV 46 High School Football Game of the Week brought to you in part by the Jordan Automotive Group. Simple, easy, stress-free. Good news is that Frank Roseman was able to walk off the field under his own power. just a cramp, it appears, and so 2nd and 4 for Portage Central. Andrew Dingus in the game, and he takes the handoff, and Tanner Jackson takes him after a pickup of 2. Jackson, very versatile athlete, sprinter, pole vaulter, high jumper, had 4 tackles for loss in last year's playoff game against Battle Creek Lakeview. And the senior, with one of his biggest hits of the night, sets up a 3rd and 2.
I'd say what he's a very good athlete, good speedster, and again, was one of those guys that the head coach would like to see him get a touch or 2.
Man in motion, but they give it to Dingus again, and Dingus getting to the 1st down marker, but he's short. He'll be about a half a yard short, 4th down and half a yard. Caleb Schnell already over to talk to Mick Enders. No doubt in my mind, Portage Central will go for it here. And as you look at that Portage Central huddle, when it breaks, see if you find number 75, because I'm going to bet money that that's who they're going to run behind.
You think? You're just basing that on fact.
Young man headed to Purdue next year. And they go right off the center in the guard combo, and Schnell powers his way for the 1st down. 1.5-yard pickup. One team knows the snap count, the other one doesn't, and it's a tough reaction there. But Jack Molitor, Josh Green, and Cross Watson get the job done in the middle of the line for Portage Central, and they move the chains for the 1st down.
Another big conversion on that play.
1st and 10 from the 41. Portage Central has had a couple of big 4th down conversions in this game tonight. And Schnell kept the ball himself and managed to stagger his way up to the 47-yard line, pickup of 6. Really nice job that time by Caleb Schnell of making the read at the latest possible moment, pulling the ball out of the belly of Andrew Dingus and then cutting upfield. So it's 2nd and 5.
See Portage Central take a little bit of time.
Man in motion, but they give it to Dingus again, and he powers his way up to the midfield stripe. And that'll leave with a 3rd and 1 for Portage Central, which is like money in the bank for this Mustang offense. At Portage Central line, we mentioned Molitor, Green, and Watson in the middle. But Lucas Gear has had a really nice night at tackle tonight. He's a senior. Michael Holmes is a junior. And we mentioned in the starting lineups, both of them used to be tight ends and are now tackles. 3rd and 1, handoff up the middle, and another 1st down for Portage Central. They move the chains with a 2-yard pickup. And this, I think, is when Mick Enders, yes, he loves the big plays that he's had from Roseman tonight, no question, but he really loves drives like this.
Just eat that clock up, you know, and again, you got the lead, you got the ball, so it's not a bad idea.
Try to wear down that defense. And the other key for Portage Central tonight, while they've had a couple of fumbles in the backfield, they've recovered both of them. They have not had a turnover tonight. There's another play that was almost blown up. And as it is, Schnell is tackled a yard behind the line of scrimmage by Cage Davison, as Lakeshore had a bit of a jailbreak that time up front. And now they'll get some fresh troops out onto the field.
Griffin Tool in Stevensville wants to give their support to the Lakeshore Lancers and wish them all the best this season. And wonderful group there at Griffin Tool, and they're just very supportive of the team, and they want you to know that they're supporting all the boosters, and everybody makes it so special here at Lakeshore High School. Congratulations, everybody, from Griffin Tool.
Here's the pitch to Tyler Lynch, and Lynch still on his feet. Gets close to the 1st down marker, up to the 39-yard line. Big pickup for Lynch on one of his few carries tonight, as he's able to get about 10 yards. Lynch, a junior, only 134 pounds, but he shows some pretty good agility here. as he cuts it inside, and finally it was Matt Vaughn, the sophomore defensive end, who brought him down.
Honor Credit Union supports Lakeshore Lancers, all the clubs, all the students, everybody involved in the process here, and really proud of the effort that they see. And if you need help with any of your banking needs, Honor Credit Union. It's across from the high school here in Stevensville, Michigan.
Dingus on the carry, and he's going to be a little bit short of the first down marker to set up another 4th and inches here for Portage Central.
Oh, we've seen a lot of these big plays, partner.
Now the officials looking it over, and now they say first down. Portage Central players had been motioning first down. The officials originally had the down marker flipped to 4, but then they took a second look, didn't even bring the chains out, and said first down.
Well, when you got a field that's well marked as this one is, pretty easy to figure out where you got to be.
Portage Central has taken nearly 6 minutes off the clock with this drive. Handoff up the middle. Dingus hangs on and then takes some of the Lancer tacklers for a little pony ride up to the 30-yard line. Good leg drive that time as Augustin Etheridge makes the tackle. And it'll be 2nd and 1.
Well, how big is that positive yardage when you start a series? Not necessarily just a drive, but a series to get it going and stay ahead of the chains.
There you see Caleb Schnell. Some people say he's underrated as a quarterback because of the leadership he gives to this offense. He gives the football there to Dingus, and Dingus takes it still short of the first down marker, maybe about a half-yard gain, and it's 3rd and a half a yard. This drive started with 8:39 on the clock in the 3rd quarter. 7 minutes chiseled off here by Portage Central, but Lakeshore still only trailing by 2.
Boy, that time keeps slipping away from Lakeshore. Again, you're maybe a kickoff return away from getting the lead, but you've got to get a stop here.
And instead, it's another first down for Portage Central as Schnell keeps it on the quarterback keeper for about a 2-yard gain.
Diamond Factory Service wishes the Lakefield Lancers all the best of luck this season and during the school year. And they remind you that they can take care of all your appliance needs. It's Diamond Factory Service and take care of everything you need. And they're looking to help you with your appliance needs. So reach them when you need help at Diamond Factory Service. And they say, go Lancers.
This is the 13th play of the drive. 1st and 10 from the 26. The handoff to Dingus, nothing doing that time. A loss of 2 on the play. The power of that Lakeshore defensive line. Johnny Sawicki and Colin Robinson coming up to make the hit back at the 30.
Boy, another big play defensively for Lakeshore. You'd have to put a lot of highlight tape together. Well, we don't use tape anymore, but you'd have to have a lot of highlight reel for all the highlights we've seen in this ball game already. We've still got a quarter to go.
Could be the final play here of quarter number 3. 2nd and 11. And now a timeout being called by Portage Central as Mick Enders wants to maybe give his offensive line just a little bit of a chance to catch their breath. You run that many plays in a row, that's going to wear anybody down.
It's been a big drive for him. Folks, Scott Berry Productions is proud to support the Lakeshore Lancers, and they also are very happy and proud of what they do for their company, Scott Berry Promotions. And you don't have to go online. You can take care of business right here. They got everything you need for apparel and swag and different marketing techniques that you need to do. They're ready to help you. That's Scott Berry Productions.
Scott Berry Promotions?
Promotions, yeah.
Yeah, they call that guy the swag geek.
The swag geek, and again, want to wish everybody at Lakeshore a great season.
Scott Berry sponsoring our live stream tonight. We've had probably about 60 to 65 viewers watching the live stream throughout the night. We appreciate all of you. Up to 90 now, I'm told by Dean Corsmo down in the truck. So 2nd and 11 right here for Portage Central. With 18 seconds to go here in the stanza. Caleb Schnell, did he draw Lakeshore offside, or was there movement by Portage Central? We'll find out.
Well, the sun had gone down. It got a little tough to read here in the press box, and somebody discovered there's a light up there, so that really helps.
Long discussion here as to whether it was illegal procedure or encroachment, and this is a big call. It's the difference between 2nd and 6 and 2nd and 16. Or do you just go with the backyard rule and say do-over?
Yeah. Go down to the Volkswagen and turn left.
I'm not sure I've ever seen this long discussion about a 5-yard penalty.
No, but they want to get it right.
And they call a false start on Portage Central. So it'll be 2nd and 16 from the 35.
Another big play.
Or I should say from the 34, 2nd and 16.
The Lakeshore offense has got to be feeling pretty good. If they could get a stop here without giving up any points. They've been resting for quite a bit here on this long, long drive by Portage Central.
Well, Schnell has not thrown a pass in this drive. He's only thrown a couple of them tonight. Is this a situation where he airs it out? Man in motion. Schnell does throw, looking downfield, and it's incomplete. He was trying to hit Cole Lewis, but Lewis was well covered by Jackson Bouchou on the play. It'll be 3rd down and 16.
Another great name up here at Lakeshore, Bouchou.
Oh, there have been a few of them to wear the Lancer red and black.
Honor Credit Union proudly supports the Lancers athletic teams. Wish them all the best during this school year. And if you're ready to check on your finances, whether it be a mortgage, a car loan, anything that you need, the banking needs, are ready to help you. They're across from Lakeshore High School in Stevensville. They say, go Lancers.
Andrew Dingus carries the ball up to the 30. It'll be 4th and long as the 3rd quarter comes to an end. The faces tell the story here in Stevensville. Lots of intensity here on this opening night of the Michigan high school football season, and we've got a good one cooking at Al Stockman Stadium. 22-20, Portage Central up by 2 after 3 on 46. This edition of the 46 High School Football Game of the Week being brought to you by TCU, empowering members for 90 years. They're federally insured by the NCUA. Chuck Freeby, Bob Nagel with you tonight from Stevensville. Bo Hunt normally with us tonight, watching his son play in a freshman football game, so we turn over the honors of the Bills Heating Sideline Report to you. Big 4th down play coming up here for Lakeshore. What do you anticipate from Portage Central?
Well, I think Portage Central's got to try to air it out and hope for either a completion or an interference call, something like that. But tell you what, Lakeshore gets the stop here. They've done a great job. They've run a lot of the clock off, and they would have a chance to go down and have a chance to take the lead. But again, there's been so many big plays in this game, and one of the reasons they're behind the chains here is they've had their fullback go down with an injury.
Schnell to throw over the top, and it's incomplete. Tyler Stolsky went up against Jackson Bouchou, and Bouchou got the better of that one. And the Lakeshore defense, after an 8-minute, 44-second drive, holds, and they take over on downs at their own 30.
Chuck, another point, we're talking about the Bills heating update. One of the things I want to point out is we're really going to get a display here now in the 4th quarter. Lakeshore has gone with 2 platoons, 22 starters in the lineup, and it has been the same for Portage Central. Let's see if this starts to have an effect.
Well, and here's another thought. Lakeshore's offense only had the ball for the opening possession of the 3rd quarter. Remember, Lakeshore's touchdown came on a kick return. So this Lakeshore offense hasn't been on the field a long time, and Korfmacher aired it out for Cage Davison, but threw it too far.
I like that play anyway because he stretched out the defense again, creates opportunities underneath, and also helps the rushing game. So, well, I tell you what, you talk about two coaches that understand the game and the adjustments that can be made. It's a lot of fun.
Ryan Korfmacher in his initial start, a member of the basketball team. That's how most people around Stevensville knew him before tonight. Korfmacher hands it off. Nice move that time by Devin Atkins back in the game. And the little speedster gets a first down, sponsored by Mr. Giros, as he takes it up to the 42-yard line. You'll get another look on the 46 replay. Good to see Atkins back out on the field for the Lancers.
Nice pickup, nice first down, and Lakeshore obviously wants to score, but maybe they want to run a little clock too as they get down there, maybe have a chance to take the lead.
Korfmacher, 8 of 14, 110 yards throwing the football. Stacked twins on both sides, but it's Austin on the left side, and he's got room to run. Devin Austin to the outside, and a flag comes in late after Portage Central's player was begging for a holding call, and I think he'll get it. But look at the hit that was put on Devin Austin by Tyler Stolsky. And Austin is down on the field.
Oh, my.
Danny Thompson waving his team back. You're going to get another look here on the 46 Sports replay. And that's where the holding was. 5 got held, but then watch Stolsky just lower the boom there on Atkins.
One of the reasons he'll be going to Lehigh to play Division I football.
That looked like it could be helmet to helmet. Austin is down on the field right now.
Means we might have another discussion by the officials.
We'll get the replay around for you to get another look perhaps at this. We will see.
And while we do that, oh, wait a minute, go ahead.
And we only show this because you're trying to determine whether that's a helmet-to-helmet hit, and that sure is.
Oh, my.
Wow. And that's what Danny Thompson wants the officials to discuss.
We'd be glad to show it to them, but we can't. Folks, Imagineering Finishing Technologies produces outstanding products, and they continue to be the industry knowledge source for metal finishing solutions. The plants in Indiana are supplying components for some of the new aerospace opportunities at Boeing and SpaceX. And they're doing a good job with that. And they're a proud supporter of high school sports. They're also working with the automotive, military, and defense programs around the country. So they're proud of their past, excited about the future. And that's Imagineering Finishing Technologies.
Devin Austin able to walk off the field, and many of the Lakeshore fans on their feet to salute him. And Danny Thompson irate, and based on the replay, rightfully so, that there was no 15-yard penalty there against Lakeshore for a helmet-to-helmet hit. Austin giving a thumbs up to the people in the stands.
Not only a penalty check, but it might have been an expulsion from the game.
Now, the holding call occurred far enough downfield that the penalty will actually be 1st and 9.
Poor, a lot of football on that one play.
So 1st and 9, and the Lakeshore crowd letting their displeasure known at the hit by Stolsky. And Danny Thompson trying to get his crowd back into the game. It's still a 2-point ball game with 11 minutes to go. We got a lot of football to play here, folks.
It's everything we thought it would be and hoped it would be.
Korfmacher hands it off. And the carry made that time for Lakeshore by Andrew Dotson back in the game with Vaughn out. And Dotson takes it for a carry of 3. It'll be 2nd down and 6. But already you kind of see the difference. I mean, Vaughn gave him a real speedster on the outside. Dotson is more of an inside charger.
nice balance that they have in that backfield. And again, keep in mind that Korfmacher's a pretty good runner as well.
2nd and 6. Also a pretty good passer. Let's see if he airs it out here. He wants to. He's going deep. He's got a man. Griffiths, touchdown, Lakeshore. 54 yards, no flags. And another explosion by the Lakeshore offense. This is a brand new combo this year, folks. And I think the folks in Stevensville will warm up to Korfmacher to Griffiths. A pair of touchdown passes tonight.
Outstanding execution. Good timing on the play, good timing on the routes.
Now Danny Thompson in a position where a kick does him no good. So
Right.
he wants to go for 2 here to at least make it a 6-point game. That would force Portage Central into making their conversion. 26-22 the score. Korfmacher with an empty backfield. Low snap. He handles it. He throws too high for his intended receiver as he was looking for Jack Valenziano. But a beautiful touchdown pass from Ryan Korfmacher to Trevor Griffiths, covered 54 yards and puts Lakeshore back in front. 26-22 with 10:07 to go and a dandy on 46. This edition of the TV46 High School Football Game of the Week being brought to you in part by St. Andrews Products. 1989 is when they started, and if you can reach out to them at sales@standrewscorp.com. So that Lakeshore sideline rejuvenated after a brilliant touchdown pass from Ryan Korfmacher to Trevor Griffiths, their second TD combo of the night. And now let's see if Portage Central can come back with 10:07 to go.
Well, there have been fireworks in the sky here and fireworks on the field. What a tremendous night. What a treat for high school football fans.
Be hard-pressed to find a better opener than this one. And here's Korfmacher, who as late as Tuesday did not know that he was starting in this game. Danny Thompson got his quarterbacks together Tuesday night, told him who would start and why. And then we reached out to him on Wednesday. He let us know. And I will dare say it looks like he made the right decision.
I think he did. And boy, all of a sudden, you know, when you think about Mooney as a possible starter, but he's concentrating on defense. But boy, when you got a guy like that, who's your backup, you're in a pretty good situation right now for not only tonight, but the whole season.
Tyler Gates on the approach. And Gates with the squib kick. It'll be picked up at the 16-yard line by Devin Porter, and he returns it to the 27. Sandwiched there between Colin Intveld and Andrew Lees. And it'll be 1st and 10 from the 27 for Portage Central, which had a lengthy drive on its last possession, but came up pointless.
And, you know, Porter early in the ball game was really electric. I mean, he got him off to a good start. Not a great return there, and you wonder on the pass coverage on that last touchdown by Lakeshore, are their legs starting to get a little weary for Portage Central, especially in that secondary, because they've been stretching them out all night.
Caleb Schnell in the game at quarterback, and good news for Portage Central fans as Frank Roseman is back in the game at fullback.
He's a warrior.
Schnell pitches, and Josh Sturgeon tries to take it around the corner, and no can do. Terrific defense. Zach Warren came up from the cornerback position and made the stop.
Chuck, when you're here this week watching practice, you could see all the speed that Lakeshore has on the outside. And again, some of it's on offense, but a lot of it's on defense. And there was no corner there to turn.
2nd down and 9. Schnell getting the play back in from the sideline. Still has 11 on the play clock. Roseman behind him. They fake it to Roseman. Schnell on a quarterback keeper takes it up to the 35-yard line, looking at 3rd and 2. Gavin DeHaven came up and made the stop. The 6'3", 240-pound senior. His family sitting right down in front of us tonight.
Great atmosphere. A lot of, obviously, parents and families here, not only for the football player, but for the band members who did just an outstanding job before the game and at halftime.
3rd and 2. The pitch to the outside. Thomas Lane finds one, and Thomas Lane takes it up to the 44-yard line, but there's a flag on the play, and this one may be coming back.
We've had some big penalties in the second half, and one that wasn't called, but
and we see a holding call made against Portage Central. That's a big one here on 3rd down.
Sure is. The fans here watching very closely. As soon as they saw that hand go up by the official, they started applauding.
I think they called it on Devin Porter for a block that was well to the outside of the play. There you look at Devin Austin. He's the young man that took that big hit from Tyler Stolsky. Seems no worse for wear. Getting some love from big Colin Robinson down there.
Trainer asked him how many fingers he was holding up. He said yellow.
Fortunately, he didn't, because that's why he's possibly coming back. 3rd and 10. Blitz coming for Lakeshore. Well read by Portage Central, and Lakeshore still able to make the play at the 31-yard line to make it 4th and 5. And Mick Enders will send the punting unit out.
Wow. Folks, St. Andrews Products is celebrating over 30 years serving corporations, high schools, and colleges, including the PGA Tour. They are very proud to support the brand new golf course up in Grand Haven, Michigan, the American Dunes. Jack Nicklaus designed it. They're open, and they're supporting the Folds of Honor charity and trying to raise money for scholarships for military veterans. Congratulations to St. Andrews Products. You can reach them at sales@standrewscorp.com.
Devin Porter with a 47-yard punt, no return. And so it'll be 1st and 10 from the 22-yard line for Lakeshore, which now, really for the first time since the second quarter, has a chance to pad a lead. They have a 26-22 advantage here.
Not sure what's more important, getting more points or running more clock.
Yes.
That is correct.
What a night for Ryan Korfmacher. So impressed with this junior and the poise that he has shown so far. Now here in the 4th quarter, he hands it off, and Andrew Dotson running over people to the 32-yard line, and a 1st down sponsored by Mr. Galeros. Take another look on the 46 replay. Really good blocking on that side of the line that time, as Wesley Erickson threw the block to help spring it.
Lakeshore was doing a pretty good job of holding their own in the trenches. We talked about how important that was going to be for Portage Central to win the battle in the trenches. They held their own in the first half and into the 3rd quarter, and now they could be getting a little bit dominant as that team from Portage Central maybe showing some weary legs.
1st and 10 from the 33. It's Dotson again as they try to drain some clock, but he stopped after a pickup of 2. Tyler Stolsky, having a big all-state game, comes in and makes the hit. And he had help from Jack Wilkin, the middle linebacker. You'll have to keep an eye on that clock in the bottom right-hand corner of the Intera Credit Union scoreboard as we go under 7 minutes to go in this one. Big 2nd and 8 call here for Korfmacher and the Lancers. Griffiths in motion, and then one of the linemen jumped, and instead of 2nd and 8, it'll be 2nd and 13. Honestly, though, for an opening game, you made the point early on, and I think it's held up pretty well. Pretty good discipline on both sides in terms of penalties. I think we see fatigue playing a little more of a factor here in the 4th quarter.
Well, unfortunate to jump, and again, you get in that situation where you might have to pass, but boy, the way they passed the ball tonight, that's not necessarily a bad thing for Lakeshore.
Korfmacher, 9 of 15 for 164 yards tonight and 2 touchdowns. He puts it on the ground here for Andrew Dotson, and Dotson manages to work his way back to the original line of scrimmage. It'll be 3rd and 10. And Dotson appears to be down on the ground here, and we'll have the trainers come out to tend to him.
You know, one of the things, Dotson's been the workhorse in there. A lot of contact every time. You see Korfmacher being a good leader out there tonight for his ball club. Chuck, you got to wonder if a passing play on 3rd down and 10, if you split everybody wide and you create some room in there, maybe Korfmacher can pull it down a little quarterback draw here, might be effective, and you don't risk a turnover.
Well, the problem here for Lakeshore, too, is their top 2 running backs have both been banged up here. Devin Austin on the sidelines after taking that hit from Stolsky, and now here's Dotson down on the field, and he'll definitely be coming out of this game at least for a play, and from the looks of it, maybe a little bit longer. Should take a look at Mick Enders over on the other side. Just first of all, hoping the young man's okay, but then secondly, hoping his team can get the ball back and bring it back down the field. Lakeshore leads at 26-22, 6:11 to go in regulation. You're watching the TV 46 High School Football Game of the Week. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week being brought to you in part by Bill's Heating and Air Conditioning, keeping families and businesses comfortable since 1951. Well, Andrew Dotson takes a shot in the back of the neck, Bob.
I'll say for Bill's Heating and Cooling, we need more of the cooling than the heating right now, but Bill's is ready to serve you when you need them. Bill's Heating and Cooling, one of our proud sponsors.
3rd and 10 here for Lakeshore with 5:53 and counting. Korfmacher has time again, flushed out of the pocket, gonna try to run for it, and Jack Wilkson brings him down at the 36-yard line. Only a pickup of 3 and a punting situation for Lakeshore.
Well, we've talked about the big stops that Lakeshore has gotten tonight. That is a huge, huge stop for Portage Central when they needed it.
So Alec Woyan has had some pretty good kicks tonight for Lakeshore. And the sophomore will see if he can deliver another one here. Devin Porter will back up to about his own 30-yard line.
Dangerous man.
Let's see if Portage Central goes for the block or the return. It's a low snap, nice one hop. They're thankful for field turf there. Porter makes a diving forward catch at the 34-yard line. So a 30-yard punt, no return. And here's the ball game for Portage Central. 5:03 to go in the 4th quarter. Mustangs down 4. They got to move 64 yards to pay dirt.
Yeah, when you're looking at the possibilities, keep in mind that Portage Central has not had a great deal of success throwing the football tonight. So they're going to have to grind it out. I wouldn't doubt, partner, that they're going to find somebody that's a little bit cross out there.
Cross Watson has had a good night on that offensive line. Frank Roseman, 11 carries, 127 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And he lines up at fullback behind Caleb Schnell. But they'll pitch it to Josh Sturgeon, and Sturgeon turns it up the field and gets to the 40-yard line. Pickup of 6 on the play. They were hoping that the inside would be stacked up and they could get Sturgeon loose on the flank. Portage Central has had the ball for the bulk of the second half here, but they've only been able to cash it in for 1 touchdown.
Out of the 24 minutes during the second half, it looks like it's going to be about a 18-6 margin.
Roseman with a 3-yard carry there to set up a 3rd and 1. And you see bodies starting to get up a little bit slower with 4:15 to go.
Wait till you see me get up after this game.
By the way, Portage Central only has 1 timeout remaining. So they may need to start to use a little sense of urgency here. The most urgent thing here is a third down conversion. Schnell himself for the first down up to the 45. It'll be 1st and 10.
Chuck, I keep going back to that stop that Lakeshore was able to get on the 2-point conversion and kept it within reach, and now they've taken the lead. And that's a big stop there for Lakeshore back in the 3rd quarter.
Schnell trots in with the play. The linemen check their wristbands. And an official's timeout. I think there's an equipment problem. Somebody might have lost their mouth guard. And that's Josh Green, the setter. His helmet came off, so he has to leave for a play. And Brad Ullman, the backup center, will come in. We'll see if there's any kind of problem with the exchange here.
And a key point of the ball game.
Meanwhile, the clock continues to tick. Fumbled snap.
Boy, you called it, partner. See if they got on it. Looks like they did.
And Green was going to come right back in, and he'll bring the play in.
Oh. You're going to have to get him another chin strap. That helmet can't come off.
Well, and here's the thing. I mean, Portage Central has lost probably about 45 seconds on this exchange. And it's 2nd and 10. And it's Roseman dragged down after a pickup of 2. Good ankle tackles that time by the interior. Matt Vaughn, the sophomore defensive end, 3-sport athlete, wrestler, track, and football. And he got Roseman around the ankles. It's 3rd and 8.
Really impressed with Lakeshore in practice about the assignments and the responsibilities. And they come ready to play here tonight.
Schnell at quarterback. Man in motion, that's Sturgeon. Sturgeon found a seam, and Sturgeon got the first down. He's run out of bounds at the 46-yard line, so he did not get the first down. It'll be 4th and 1.
Well, guess what? I think they're going to go for it, partner.
Colin Robinson back in. Now the clock stops because Sturgeon was able to get out of bounds there. That's a key part of this game. Gavin DeHaven back in as well on 4th and 1. Portage Central down 4. Danny Thompson, his first game as a head coach. Trying to get a win. Schnell keeps it himself, got the first down up to the 43-yard line. And Portage Central will move the chains with 1:54 to go.
Starting to get pretty late, 1:54. Wow.
There haven't been a lot of Lakeshore coaches who have won their first game. Glenn Arter, Denny Dock, Brian Kine. Those are the only ones in the history of Lakeshore football, which goes back to 1957. 1st and 10. The pitch here to Thomas Lane. Lane brought down after a pickup of just 1, and it's 2nd and 9. Clock at 90 seconds to go.
Well, you're kind of forcing the Portage Central Mustangs to throw the ball, or if you got a play you've been keeping in your back pocket, it's getting to be time.
Not a lot of urgency getting in and out of the huddle for the Mustangs. Here comes a blitz. They picked it up. Schnell going up top, and it's incomplete. Cole Lewis well covered by Jackson Bush, who has had a beautiful game at cornerback tonight for Lakeshore. You'll get another look on the 46 replay.
I love this defensive call. Haven't shown a blitz tonight. Key situation, here they came.
3rd down. Scoreboard says 8. Honestly, it looks more like 9 from the 42.
Boy, Bushu's made some big plays, hasn't he?
He has. 3 to go. Remember, 1 timeout left for Portage Central, down by 4. Schnell looks to throw. In trouble. Tanner Jackson got him.
One of the guys that we talked about in practice with so much quickness. Jackson. Wow. Big shot there.
And Mick Enders will use his last time out with 57 seconds left. The pressure came up the middle on the blitz. Schnell had no time to set Jackson was able to spin him around and down.
Really impressed with the defensive calls here tonight for Lakeshore. What a terrific, terrific job by the coaching staff. And again, when you're a head coach, you got a defensive coordinator. Do you want to give him the freedom to do what he wants to do? And they've obviously done that. He's done a great job.
Well, one thing Danny Thompson looked at was Lakeshore's defensive numbers over the year, and they said, Bill Bancroft, you're doing a wonderful job. Keep it up. So he turned the defense over to Bill, said, keep doing what you're doing. Danny worried more about the offense. He obviously found himself a quarterback and an offense that he's comfortable with, and now he is one defensive stop away from picking up his first win as the Lakeshore Lancer head coach.
And this could be a big, big catapult for his team as they head into the rest of the season.
The student section has moved down to the track. They're hoping to be able to swarm the field when this one's over.
The Red Rage.
4th and 12, and they're on their feet at Al Stockman Stadium. Schnell to throw. Under pressure, gets away, awfully close to the first down, but I don't think he made it. He had to get to the 33. He stopped at the 34, and Lakeshore will take over on downs and win the football game.
Look at the joy, happiness. Wow, what a big play. And what a great effort by Portage Central. They came up with a big play, just a yard short.
What a win for this Lakeshore team. Brand new quarterback, and they got contributions from all three phases of the game. The defense stood tall in the second half, gave up just 6 points. The offense came up with big explosive plays, and the kick return by Cage Davison, probably the play of the game because it got Lakeshore right back in it before they could get their daubers down.
Well, and that big tackle on that third down play was huge. I mean, there's so many heroes really on both sides, but look at the Lakeshore Lancers. Boy, I tell you what, they are feeling pretty good about the effort they had here tonight.
Danny Thompson using the timeout just to keep his team calm, saying 48 seconds left. We still have to execute the fundamentals, and the biggest one of those being the center quarterback exchange.
Exactly right. You think that's the play call, partner?
So, all night long, they've been using Korfmacher out of the shotgun. I don't think they'll stick him under center here, but we'll see. And a reminder, if you're watching this game on Friday afternoon on TV 46, don't forget tonight, later on at 11 o'clock, more high school football for you as we've got Concord and Jimtown. If you're watching it on Saturday afternoon on TV 46, don't forget more high school football next week as we have Warsaw in Plymouth in Northern Indiana's oldest continuous rival.
Man, we're having fun.
What a great way to start the season.
Really is. Boy, this is a classic right here. Guess what? They'll probably be on again next summer.
I was going to say,
classics.
You're already, let's see, June.
Yep.
First Friday in June, Bob penciling this one in.
That's right.
They did put Korfmacher under center. He goes to the genuflect. One more of those, and this one will belong to the Lancers.
It's going to be a tough bus ride home for Portage Central, but partner, they did have some moments tonight. They did some great things. And it's not like, I don't think they lost the game as much as Lakeshore won it.
So Danny Thompson victorious in his first game as the Lakeshore head coach, and the Lancers prevail over longtime rival Portage Central. The final score, Lakeshore 26 and Portage Central 22. The two teams lining up to shake hands at midfield. Great display of sportsmanship, and the fireworks going off here in Stevensville. We'll have our Shadler Shed post-game show after this on 46.
Thanks for watching the WHME TV 46 High School Football Game of the Week, brought to you by
In Stevensville, the celebration goes on. As they say, Lakeshore Lancers, hats off to thee. A 26-22 win for Lakeshore tonight here at Al Stockman Stadium. Chuck Pregame and Bob Nagel high above the fray. Every bit of the $5 you spent on this one, you got and then some.
I'm telling you what, the place is electric right now. The fans at Lakeshore showed up. They cheered. They knew everything was going on in the game. We're excited about their new head coach who gets his first win. And we had a great game from Portage Central. They came in ready to play. They gave it a great effort. So many things in this chess match between two coaches who really know what they're doing. What a pleasure just to be here to watch this game.
Lakeshore really relying on quickness and technique along that defensive line, did their assignments very well in the second half. They got some explosive plays on offense from Ryan Korfmacher and Trevor Griffiths. On defense, they made big plays when they had to have them. And then in special teams, Cage Davison with the 87-yard kickoff return early in the third quarter to get the Lancers back in the game. Just a great all-around team win and a nice building block for Danny Thompson and his team as they go forward in the SMAC.
Well, we'll have to keep an eye on Lakeshore as their season continues, because this is a team that's going to really take off on the trampoline here with some excitement and some motivation to continue their work and to have a great year.
You know, you'll have to keep an eye on some teams like Battle Creek Lakeview in the SMAC. They're very good. And then just a little bit down the road, Andrew Prantley and the St. Joe Bears say, hey, what about us? They'll be in action Friday night at Dickinson Stadium. That'll be an interesting game to watch against Matawan. But our thanks to Greg Younger, the athletic director here at Lakeshore, and his terrific staff for their wonderful hospitality. And our thanks to our 46 crew. It was downright hot when they got here to Al Stockman Stadium today to set up, and they did a wonderful job bringing you all the pictures and highlights. Now, a reminder, if you're watching on the live stream, Friday night at 11 and Saturday morning at 9, more high school football from Indiana. It's the Cable Line Cup as Jimtown takes on Concord. And if you're watching Saturday afternoon, next Friday night at 11 and Saturday morning at 9, high school football from down in Warsaw as Park Curtis and the Tigers take on John Barron's Plymouth Rockies in northern Indiana's oldest rivalry. Now for my broadcast partner Bob Nagel, it's Chuck Freeby. Once again, the final, Lakeshore 26, Portage Central 22. So long from the banks of Lake Michigan in Stevensville.